Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the session. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
First of all, how is it different to play your song stripped back like this? Like, how is the connection different when you play stripped back, like acoustic? Like, do you feel there's a different connection to your music and your songs?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of either when they've first been written or when we were at university doing gigs. Like, it's really nice. Like, it's kind of how the music is made. So it's quite special, I think.
I was reminded today of when we first started. It had that feel, that sort of, especially like performing in like a little bar as well. Like
that's where you started. You started in pubs, right?
Yeah, in London and in Nottingham as well, where we met. So yeah, it was very sort of like all these sort of like nostalgic flashbacks.
There's a self-reflection.
Yeah, a lot. I was literally self-reflecting through the entire thing.
Because the new album is about like self-reflection. So congrats on the new release. It's amazing.
Merci.
So how do you feel now it's out? And like, can you tell us about like the writing, the recording process?
Yeah, I mean, we feel amazing about it. I think with each release, we've grown with confidence, and this album is kind of a snapshot of a period of time where, I mean, it's kind of our pandemic album in a way, because actually we made the third album, that got delayed, and then we just went straight into the process of making the fourth album. So it's a bit made in different studios, songs that we kind of found that were really old, that we kind of made new again. So yeah, well, we're super happy with it.
And as a fourth album, do you feel now you have more freedom in the writing, the recording, that you've been like getting older? Like, is it easier to write and record?
Yeah, I think it is. I think with age you get this like confidence where it's actually really dangerous, because I think that's why sometimes like with some of your favorite artists, as they age, I'm not going to say any names, but like sometimes they release some like questionable stuff because they just don't care anymore about. So I think we're approaching that.
We're getting near that. Yeah.
This is like, I mean, this was the first time we had our own studio, like, which is kind of crazy. So we used to, every time we came to making an album, we'd go into a space for like a month, say, and record everything we'd written. But this time we've had our own space, so it's just enabled us to like have a lot of freedom around.
So it's your own studio? And
yeah. Now we have,
cool. And what influences, if you have any, on this new album? Like what kind of music did you listen to during the recording? If I may.
We have so many. We all have very different tastes, and then I think really with us we have a song, and then that song then sort of informs the taste that is applied to it. And so we'll make a song, maybe that song's more electronic, and we'll reference like a trip hop thing, or this song is more like maybe more of a ballad, and we'll reference like a sort of maybe a more traditional sort of. And I think that's how we tend to construct it, and we'll reference particular artists or particular songs based on the song that we're making. So that's why it's always like feels very eclectic, I think, in a way. And I can't even pinpoint exactly what the tastes are in a way.
Was it fast? Like, how long did it take? Like,
no.
It's
like, never fast.
Never
Could be.
I think it was still our fastest. I think it was like a couple of years. But yeah, it takes a while.
Do you have a favorite, each of you? Like a favorite song on the album?
Me? Probably, I think between Kind of Man and Fakest Bitch, I like those two. Yeah.
You, Hannah?
I think mine is The Greatest Love.
Yeah, I mean, it changes. Like, could be The Greatest Love, Fakest Bitch, Into Gold. There's a few.
Good, because it's my next question. We're talking about The Greatest Love. It's a very powerful title. Of course, I'm going to ask you, like, you becoming a mother, is it what this title is a reference to? Is it also maybe a message to your fans?
Yeah, I think it does mean that to me now. I think when I wrote the song The Greatest Love years ago, like a really long time ago, and I think for me it does sound quite cheesy, but kind of finding self-love, because if you can't love yourself, you can't love other people. But now I do, like, whenever I think of that song, I do think of my son, which is really nice.
I read also that you've never been closer as a band that you've been now. Like, what's the secret? Like, you've been together for so many years, and like, it's difficult, like, to be.
Yeah, I do feel that there's a closeness between us that is just something as well about like maturing and growing up, and like, and you know, having families or whatever is just like, there's something that's so bonding about that. We've been through each other's problems the whole life, and that is a huge thing. And like the more you go through, the more important that becomes.
And you say family, but it's also your second or first family, like being in a band. Like it's a different family.
I have spent more time with Dan and Dot than any other person in my life. Like even my parents growing up, I've spent more time with Dan and Dot probably.
What will you tell? Because you have a song that reflects on your younger self, like on the album. Like now, what will you tell to your younger self if you meeting your younger self? Like
I think I would just say, just have more confidence, because youth really is wasted on the young, and I just used to tie myself up in knots about things as an artist that I just wish I hadn't. But I have no regrets as well at the same time. I think it's just a rite of passage. But if I could go back, that's what I'd say.
And we're in Paris, so I was wondering, what is your relationship with France? I know on my right, you have a strong relationship with France, because your mom is...
Ma mère est moitié française. Ouais. Il faut que je parle comme un connard, mais c'est dommage.
Oh, wow. You know the word connard, so you're fluent.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's very special, obviously, for sure.
Do you listen to some French artists? Like, do you have any in mind that you've been listening to recently?
Yeah, I love... he has recently changed his name to Raheem Redcar, and I've always been a huge fan.
You did a cover, right? Like, it was 2 years ago?
We did a cover of Tilted.
When I say you, it's like you as a band, huh?
Yeah.
I did a cover of Tilted.
I'm the star. And... yeah, huge fan. I think we all are, and I love the song "Girlfriend" as well.
Do you know OK Lou as well? Yeah. I love OK Lou. Yeah.
That's
very
good.
Cool.
What's the future? Like the end of the year or next year? Like you have a tour coming up. I heard that you're already working on a 5th album. Like, okay, you never stop.
Yeah.
Well, I read that. Maybe it's wrong. You're like, I don't know.
I think. Yeah. I've written a solo album, which is quite exciting. Okay. But we've also...
You wrote it already, or...?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, pretty much. So that's quite exciting. We've got a tour at the end of the year, festivals next year, and who knows? And then, album 5, which I'm hoping is probably not going to take that long, but will be really obscure, just to piss everyone off. The labels, I mean, not you guys. You guys will love it.
Well, thank you so much. Anything to add, or you don't have to? But
just thank you so much for coming, and it means a lot to still have fans.
It was really great to have you here.
Thank you.